Imagine stepping up to the check-in desk at JFK or, Heathrow. Sirens are going off in the distance, announcements are blaring in like three different languages, and the line behind you is just getting restless.
Yeah, it is a lot to handle.
It really is.
Mm.
So the instinct for an English beginner is to try and piece together these perfect complex sentences to prove to the agent that they understand what's going on. But linguistically speaking, attempting fluency in that moment is actually a terrible idea.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So welcome to today's deep dive. Our sources today are notes specifically designed for English learners who are navigating international airport check-ins. And our mission is basically extracting the exact steps and phrases you need to get through the terminal smoothly and, well, entirely without fear. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it. When a nervous traveler tries to use advanced vocabulary or, complex grammar, they introduce variables.
Like what kind of variables?
Well, the agent suddenly has to decode their accent, their phrasing, and even their intent. So the ultimate strategy for a smooth check-in relies on stripping away idioms, metaphors, and aviation jargon entirely.
Wow, entirely.
Yeah, entirely. You really want absolute A1 level beginner vocabulary because, it removes all ambiguity from the interaction.
So it's essentially like a video game cheat code.
Right, exactly.
You skip reading the massive instruction manual and just hit the exact right sequence of buttons to unlock your boarding pass. But wait, I have a question here.
Sure.
If an airport environment is so dynamic and overwhelming, wouldn't stripping your vocabulary down to the absolute basics make you look, I don't know, unprepared?
Yeah.
Like, how does speaking less English actually help you in a super fast-paced English-speaking environment?
That is a great question. It works because the unpredictability of an airport happens around the check-in desk, not at it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the check-in process itself is this incredibly strict, globally standardized routine. A counter in London operates on the exact same underlying logic as one in Tokyo. It is basically an algorithm.
Algorithm, right?
Exactly. You are executing a very specific set of physical exchanges, handing over bags, confirming weight limits, and receiving a document. If you keep your language tied purely to those physical tasks, simple words become universally effective.
So you strip away the room for error.
You really do.
So you're not there to have a philosophical debate or make small talk. You are literally just triggering a transaction.
That is the core of it. You are signaling to the agent what step of the algorithm you are on right then.
Okay, looking at the source notes, that transaction really boils down to two absolute must-know phrases. The first is, I am checking in for my flight, and the second is, where's the boarding gate?
Yeah, those are the big two.
But on paper, relying entirely on just those two sentences sounds almost too basic to actually work.
Well, it is basic, but the real insight here is the delivery mechanism.
What do you mean by delivery mechanism?
The sources emphasize extremely slow, clear pronunciation with long, deliberate pauses. So when an English learner repeats those core phrases slowly, they aren't just giving themselves time to think, they are psychologically forcing the gate agent to mirror their pacing.
Oh, wow. So the agent slows down too.
Exactly. The agent subconsciously slows down their own responses and drops their complex jargon. And that makes the entire interaction foolproof.
That is brilliant. You dictate the speed of the interaction by simply refusing to rush those two sentences.
Yeah, it completely flips the power dynamic.
From intimidated to totally in control.
Right. And repeating those phrases doesn't mean you're failing to communicate. It is an active strategy to ensure both sides of the counter understand the exact goal before moving to the next physical step.
So for you listening, whether you are tackling your first international flight or maybe you're coaching someone else through the anxiety of learning English for travel, the takeaway is pretty clear. ditching complex phrases for these foundational basics isn't a limitation.
No, not at all.
It actually guarantees a stress-free start to your trip. You control the interaction by simplifying it.
It really emphasizes that language is just a tool to facilitate physical actions. Once the action is complete, the words have done their job.
Right. Which actually makes you wonder something. If speaking basic, scripted phrases with zero conversational fluff is the most efficient way to navigate this incredibly standardized global system, why do we even rely so heavily on spoken language for this step at all?
That is a really interesting point.
Right, like, will the future of international travel bypass the need for these spoken cheat codes entirely through automated nonverbal technology? Until we are all just scanning our retinas to drop off our bags, remember the manual is way shorter than you think. Just say, I'm checking in for my flight.